Devin Bergie.
Mr. Bergie, I have a warrant here out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with possession of drug paraphernalia, possession of narcotic drug, possession of dangerous drug on December the 23rd. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Set an arraignment date for January 23rd at 1:30 p.m. Counsel, do we know what happened at the IA on the petition to revoke today?
Okay. Yeah, he reset it for next week, him and his lawyer, and they will, depending on what happens in this case, may enter denials at that time or continue it to track this case.
So did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
No, Your Honor, he's being detained without bond.
No, Your Honor.
Thanks for the back. Something.
All right, bond will be $1,000. If you post the bond, you'll be on still have the probation hold, so that's not going to get you out of custody anyway. And no alcohol or illegal drugs. Substance abuse assessment is available in custody or under the supervision of pretrial services. If you're out of custody, you need to comply with terms of probation. All right. Thank you, Mr. Bergie.
Thank you, ma'am. Have a good. Want to go back on the
Southern?
Southern shoot.
Okay.
Nothing refused, so I've continued until the morning. We'll just
Okay.
see.
Let's say you know. Very small errors.
Where do I go?
And do we have multiple defendants in the courtroom or just this defendant?
Multiple, Your Honor.
Oh. All right, this is addressed to everyone who's in the courtroom right now. I'm Judge Shayette. This is the time set for initial appearances, arraignments on your misdemeanor matters. It's the time for you to be formally advised of charges against you, for me to set conditions of release in your next court date. Conditions of release will always include that you violate no laws, that you would appear at all court dates. Any of your matters are class 1 misdemeanors, and most of them will be. Will also include that you remain within the state of Arizona unless you receive permission of the court to leave the state. There may be additional conditions based on your history, your circumstances, and the events that occurred. It is not the time to talk about facts of the case or ask that charges be dismissed. And you are,
Vanessa Mendoza.
Ms. Mendoza, I have 3 matters for you. Well, 4. I have warrant charges that go back to December 17th of 2019 for shoplifting. Looks like you were supposed to be in court sometime in August and didn't appear. I also have a warrant for shoplifting and criminal trespass alleged to have occurred on December 26th of 2020. Failing to appear on March 21st or 22nd of 2021. And again, the warrant issued in August of this year, so I anticipate that you were supposed to be in court sometime around there. And then we have charges from, if I didn't already tell you, January the 10th of 2023 for assault. And again, it looks like there was a court date in August at which you didn't appear. And then I have charges from today for possession of paraphernalia. We'll appoint Caitlin Waters to represent you on these charges.
Okay.
There will be a $500 bond. Your next court date will be tomorrow at 11:30. You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to have contact with the alleged victims returned at any of the incident locations. And I suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except Ms. Waters. Do you understand that? You're out of custody. You need to work on a substance abuse assessment. Treatment. All right, thank you.
So we go back to Pima section.
Good evening. I'm Judge Kate, and you, sir, are
Oscar Guevara.
Mr. Guevara. I have charges here from August 17th of this year for possession of paraphernalia. Actually, checking last year. Looks like you appeared at your court date on August the 28th. You were given a court date of September the 3rd. Warrant was issued because you didn't appear on September the 3rd. You apparently came in later in the day. We're given a court date for a motion to quash. And it looks like you wound up in custody a couple of days before that hearing. And you were released by pretrial services and given a court date of October the 31st, Halloween. And here's that you did not appear on that date. We have charges from February the 6th of last year. Possession of paraphernalia, possession of prescription-only drugs. Looks like, again, you appeared at your first court date. You didn't appear at your next court date. Warrant was issued. Or an OSC was set on that date. You didn't appear at the OSC, so a warrant was issued. And then again, pretrial released you. And you didn't. You appeared on June the 11th. You were given a court date of July the 31st. Judge gave you another chance, set up an order to show cause. You didn't appear on that. So my question is, are you going to show up in court?
Yeah.
No alcohol.
Nuh-uh. No.
Okay, your next court date is going to be February the 13th at 2:00 in the afternoon. In front of Judge Surio. She's usually in courtroom 6 on the second floor at Tucson City Court. Do you understand you need to be there this time?
Yeah.
No alcohol or illegal drugs. That would include prescription drugs not prescribed to you. And you need to see about getting a substance abuse assessment and beginning a recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Guevara. Now, on your way out of the jail, there's a place called the Transition Center. They may be able to help you with getting connected with treatment, with temporary housing, or other things you might need.
Okay, I don't get it though, cause I came in here. I thought I had to pay. Or never mind. Confused.
Hmm?
Nothing. I just got confused.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a seat.
Good evening, and you are,
Good evening, ma'am. My name is Gladys Marquez.
Ms. Marquez. I have a warrant here charging you with disorderly conduct. Alleged to have occurred earlier today.
That's correct.
Your next court date on this is going to be the 19th of February at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Tucson City Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time?
I do understand I have to be present, although I do have a question. And the question is, will I be released or will I be just locked up?
No, you will be released, but among your conditions, as I explained to everyone earlier, is you do not leave the state of Arizona without court permission. Do you understand that?
So I'm not able to leave the state until I go to the next court date. Is that what I'm understanding?
Unless you get permission from your assigned judge, Judge Hale. Yes,
What's the assigned judge's name?
Judge Hale, Hale. It'll be on your paperwork,
Okay.
all right? And you also don't go back to this incident location on 12th. Do you understand that?
Well, I mean, I do need a ride to get out of the state. So, I mean, I can't just, kind of just some random person, some random stranger.
She's asking a question.
Really. But I do understand. I'm just trying to let you know my side of the story.
Well, but I'm telling you, you don't go back to where this occurred. And because you now have these charges here, you cannot leave the state unless you get permission from your assigned judge. Do you understand that?
Do understand, but I'm trying to explain.
Ma'am, it's not time to explain. She's gonna release you. She's saying you're not to go back to the place and go to your.
What's the problem? I'm explaining some things.
Stand up.
Why?
Now, as I explained, now is not the time to talk about facts of cases. All right, thank you, Ms. Marquez.
McMillan. Thanks.
Good evening, I'm Judge Fayette, and you are,
Shane McMillan.
Mr. Phillips, I have charged you, charging you with criminal mischief which occurred November 16th of 2023, along with the here in court. Mr. McMillan.
Yeah.
Will reappoint the city public defender's office to represent you. Your bond will be $100 on this. You do have an adult probation hold, so posting the bond will not get you out of custody at this point. If you your next court date is set for a video review on next Friday, the 24th at 1:45. It may be that based on the status of your probation hold, your attorney asks the court to continue that hearing. But your out of custody date, if you post the bond or our other is released, will be February the 19th at 2 o'clock. Tucson City Court. You're not to have contact with the victims in this matter. You're not to go back to the incident location. All right, thank you, Mr. McMillan. Evening, and you, sir, are
Jesse Peckham.
Mr. Peckham, citation charging you with domestic violence disorderly conduct. Your next court date on this is going to be February the 11th at 1:30 in the afternoon in the Tucson City Court. Conditions of release will include no alcohol or illegal drugs, no contact with Ms. Hutchinson. You're not to go near her residence. And you're to see about getting a substance abuse assessment and any recommended treatment. Do you understand that?
Yes.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Peckham.
Ramsey. Have a seat.
Good evening. I'm Judge Jade and you are
Robert Ramsey.
Mr. Ramsey. I have a number of things here for you. I have charges from earlier today, charging you with criminal trespass and resisting arrest, alleged to have occurred at 550 West Aho earlier today. Charges from March the 16th for criminal trespass at 3866 North Muriel. Again, along with resisting arrest, passive resistance of arrest, along with failures to appear. We also have charges for criminal trespass on March the 18th at 2990 North Campbell. Along with failures to appear. Charges for criminal trespass on April the 22nd of last year, along with failures to appear. Charges from June 25th of last year. Criminal failures to appear in court, including last week, and criminal trespass from December the 26th. Again, with failures to appear. We're going to appoint the City Public Defender's Office to represent you on these charges.
And,
Bond of $100. No alcohol or illegal drugs. You're not to go back to any Circle K, including the surrounding areas. Surrounding property, you're not to go to 2990 North Campbell, 3866 North Muriel, 191 West Valencia, or 2 West Valencia. If you post the bond, your court date will be February the 13th at 1:30. If you haven't posted the bond, you will be seen next week, Friday, at about 1:45. Again, I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you, Mr. Ramsey.
Yeah, okay. I have thanks that. Yeah, thanks that. I got like it. I got this. I don't even know what's that. Sure, it's just that. Almost there. Oh, yeah. I just like to see.
That's how I managed to do that.
Hello.
Oops.
Hello.
He's only being held on one of them. She's only being held on one of them. She's a warrant on the rest. Yeah, just the one that I put. Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are,
My name is Stephen Ray Bessel Posada.
Mr. Bessel Posada. I have an interim complaint, or not, excuse me, a warrant out of Pima County Superior Court charging you with robbery and aggravated robbery alleged to have occurred on or about the 13th of April of 2024. Will appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges. Noting that there is an adult probation hold, did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions? Oh, excuse me,
No,
the
Your
jury
Honor.
is out of justice clip.
Your Honor, I'd like to be heard on the amount. I understand he has a probation hold. We would be asking for no more than $10,000 bond on this case. I don't have any of the facts, but he does have verified housing and support with his mother. He only has one prior and it's not violent. So I believe anything more than $10,000.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
All right, preliminary hearing date will be January 27th at 1:30. Bond will be $15,000. If you post the bond and are released on the probation hold, you'll be distributed pretrial services. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or weapons. You're not to return to the incident locations. You're not to have contact with the alleged victims or your co-defendant, except through legal counsel. Do you understand that?
Yes.
And again, I suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Thank you.
Oh,
So,
Look,
We have multiple defendants in the courtroom, is that correct?
yes.
All right.
Look,
I need everyone in the courtroom to listen for just a few moments. Good evening, I'm Judge Shayette. This is the time set for initial appearances. If you have misdemeanor matters, it's also time for arraignment on those. With regard to the felony matters, we'll be advising you of the charges, appointing counsel, and setting conditions of release. This is not the time to talk about facts of cases or ask that charges be dismissed. In fact, I would strongly suggest that you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Conditions of release will always include that you violate no laws, that you appear at all court dates, that you remain within the state of Arizona unless you receive permission of the court to leave the state. There may be other conditions based on your history, your circumstances, and the events that occurred. Right, and you, sir, are
Thomas Bessel Alpaida.
Mr. Bessel Alpaida. I have a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court charging you with robbery, aggravated assault with a deadly weapon or dangerous instrument, and criminal damage alleged occurred on April the 13th of 2024. We'll appoint a legal advocate to represent you on these charges. Set a preliminary hearing date for January 27th at 1:30, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor. We're asking that you release him to pretrial services. It looks like this is a offense from April of last year, so almost a year ago. He was never previously arrested on it. I'm not sure why a warrant was issued instead of a summons. He has verified housing, employment, and support with his mother. He's only scoring a 2 on the NCAA scale, a 3 on the FTA scale. He does not have an does have an active NVCA flag, but he doesn't have his last prior is from 2019, and he did so on probation. It was designated a misdemeanor. So I don't believe that a bond is necessary in this case. He is scoring a level 1 on the matrix. So we'd be asking you to give him a chance on pretrial services.
He's scoring a level 2, not a level 1.
Level 1 in the pretrial matrix. Oh, I'm sorry, Your Honor. I see what you're talking about.
Anything further from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Bond is $10,000. If you post the bond, you'll be issued from pretrial services, no alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. You'll surrender any firearms to the police department. You're not to have contact with the alleged victim or with your co-defendant except through legal counsel. You're not to return to the incident location. There's to be no firearms in your residence or vehicles. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, 100%.
And again, I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney.
Yes, ma'am. You got my word on that. That's true.
Thank you.
Thank you and have an amazing.
but I would say
Hello.
best, you know.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you, sir, are?
My name is Jose Kanyes.
Mr. Kanyes, interim complaint charging with weaponsmith conduct, that is being a prohibited possessor and possession of a firearm, possession of dangerous drug, possession of paraphernalia. Did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
No, Judge.
Yes, Your Honor,
They were prescribed.
okay. Your Honor, we're asking you to release him to pretrial services. He claims to have housing, employment, and is a lifelong Tucson resident. He has priors, but his last one was for drug offenses from 2016. He doesn't have an active NVCA flag. He's only scoring a 3 on the FTA scale. This is considered a non-violent offense according to pretrial. So we ask to give him a chance on pretrial services.
Having reviewed this, where is it that he has housing?
I said he claims to have housing, Your Honor.
We bought a new house. My mom, yeah, there's some of their caregiver too, so they bought a new house. That's why I was wondering why they're being get to take her.
They bought a new house. He's a caregiver to his parents.
Do we have information on the location of that?
As of right now, my mailing address is still 219 West Orlo, but I can update it by tomorrow. I just got as soon as I get out, I can tell my mom that because they're staying in a motel for like a day or two, so they moved to the other housing, but I need to help them with other stuff.
Sounds like he's in a transition.
Yeah, and I'm gonna stay there with my parents to help them. They're in their 70s. So. No, the weapon was a World War II weapon.
Just
Second
don't-
house for display.
Don't talk about this.
Sorry.
Please.
This is the truth. I just didn't know.
Okay.
Preliminary hearing date is going to be January the 27th at 1:30. Bond will be $1,000. Post the bond. You'll be under supervision of pretrial services. No alcohol or illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons. You're not to return to the incident location except once with law enforcement to get your personal belongings. Behavioral health and substance abuse assessment and treatment, to the extent that it's available while you're in custody or under the supervision of pretrial services if you're out of custody. There's to be no firearms in your residence or vehicles. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Kanyes.
Lopez, you're up. I got that in my state.
Well, I.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Rita Lopez.
Ms. Lopez, interim complaint charged with possession of dangerous drug. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and if either counsel wish to be heard on conditions.
No, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor, we'd be asking that you release her to pretrial services. This is a personal possession drug offense. She doesn't have any felony priors or an active NVCA flag. So we're asking you to give her a chance on pretrial.
Right, Ms. Lopez, it appears that you may be eligible to participate in a program called SMART or STEPS. It's a program of treatment designed to meet your needs. But if you successfully complete that, these felony drug charges may be dismissed without any formal charges. Is that something you're interested in pursuing?
So,
I couldn't hear you.
yeah,
She said yes, Your Honor.
Yeah, the second time I heard her, I didn't hear her the first time. All right, did counsel wish to wait? For
Yes. Yes.
All right, preliminary hearing date will be March the 5th at 1:30 in the afternoon. However, your next court date is going to be a week from today at 9 o'clock in the morning in the Pima County Superior Court. Do you understand that you need to be present at that time? Ms. Lopez?
yeah, I do.
No alcohol or illegal drugs. Do you understand that?
Yes,
You participate in monitoring and treatment of the supervision of pretrial services. You don't go back to Circle K. Do you understand that?
yeah,
All right. That takes care of your felony matter. However, I've got some warrants here for you. I'm going to pick your head up so that I know that you're listening. You have charges from December the 7th. So a little over a month ago for criminal trespass, same Circle K. And then failing to appear in court. We also have charges from July 16th of last year for criminal trespass at 3202 North First. And failing to appear in court. Your next court date on this is February the 18th at 2 o'clock in the afternoon in Tucson City Court in front of Judge Crenshaw, who's usually in courtroom 15. Do you understand that, Ms. Lopez?
Yes.
And again, no alcohol or illegal drugs. You don't go to any Circle K. You don't go back to 3202 North First. I need to comply with Smart Court. Do you understand that? All right, thank you.
Yes. Okay, so you're good. We'll see. No.
Good evening. I'm Judge Alpaida, and you are
Marcela de Montaño.
Ms. Montano. Interim
Yes.
complaint is transferring a firearm to a prohibited possessor. We'll appoint legal defender's office to represent you on these charges, and if either counsel wish to be heard further on conditions.
Yes, Your Honor, the state would like to ensure that the courts takes notice of the condition of release that prohibits contact with Saul Juarez, the person to whom this person is alleged to have transferred the firearm. Other than that, 2,500 plus PTS.
And I would note that before I looked at your recommendation, I had put that as a condition. Anything further from defense?
Yes, Your Honor, we're asking to release her to pretrial services. She has support with her mother-in-law. She does not have any felony or misdemeanor priors. She doesn't have an active NVCA flag. She's only scoring a 2 on the NCA scale, a 1 on the FTA scale. This is a non-violent offense from November of last year. So with that condition, the court's inclined to put in place. There's no reason that she should be held in custody on this, and we're asking to give her a chance on pretrial services.
The one concern that I have is that the support is with Mr. Juarez's mother.
Okay.
Like the Montaños.
She now stays with her brother and his baby mama and their child in Tucson. So she doesn't stay with them anymore.
My support would be me.
Preliminary hearing will be February the 5th at 1:30. You'll be released to the third-party custody of pretrial services. You'll participate in monitoring and treatment under their supervision. No firearms or weapons. There's to be no firearms in your residence or any vehicles that you're in. You have no contact with Mr. Juarez. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Montano.
Sherman.
Good evening, I'm Judge Shade, and you are
Rosa Sherman.
charging you with transportation of narcotic drugs, money laundering, conspiracy, possession of narcotics for sale. We'll appoint public defender's office to represent you on these charges, and did either counsel wish to be heard on conditions?
Yes, Your Honor, Nanette Morrow for the Arizona Attorney General's office. Rosa was seen with two known drug traffickers transferring 3 bags into her vehicle. She admitted that she was being paid to transfer over $250,000 worth of cocaine. It ended up being 28.5 kilos of cocaine. So based on the volume of the drugs that she had possession of, that's what we think the $75,000 would be an appropriate bond.
Anything from defense?
Your Honor, Ms. Sherman has no felony or misdemeanor priors. She's no criminal history at all. She's only scoring a 1 on both of the scales at almost 50 years old. She has verified housing with her son. She's been here 10 years. He'll help her get to court. It sounds like she was somehow involved in this, but it doesn't sound like she's playing a major role. Maybe a minor role, given that she's just transporting at this point. So we don't believe a $75,000 bond is necessary and would ask for no more than a $20,000 bond.
Preliminary hearing date will be February 27th at 1:30. Bond will be $50,000. The bond is posted, will be in a supervision of pretrial services. No alcohol, illegal drugs, no firearms or weapons, no contact with any potential co-defendants except through legal counsel. And behavioral health assessment and treatment is available in custody or under the direction and supervision of pretrial services if you're out of custody. And again, other than in the course of treatment, I'd suggest you not discuss this matter with anyone except your attorney. Do you understand that?
Yes. Yes.
All right, thank you.
Sheldon is continued till tomorrow.
Oh, no.
Okay, let me see that. Okay, why did Sheldon get? Oh. Yes. And Your Honor,
Yes.
Mitch Sheldon, is gonna have to be continued till tomorrow. He's in our mental health pod and, he's having some behavioral issues right now.
All right, we'll continue this till tomorrow morning at 9. Till tomorrow morning at 9.
Thank you, Your Honor.